All right, guys, welcome back. Today, I'm gonna be talking about my fertility protocol. Almost every single doctor I've been to, especially my general practitioners, have always advised me to not take steroids. One of my doctors specifically told me that I was castrating myself because I wouldn't be able to have kids in the future if I continue to use steroids. And there's a part of that is true, but there's also a lack of understanding from a lot of general practitioners about steroid use, and there is a right and wrong way of doing it. So if you do it the right way, there is a way to help preserve your fertility and limit the side effects from anabolic steroids. But there is a lot of misinformation out there, and steroids are abused very often, and the side effects happen to a lot of people, and one of those side effects being infertility. It's a really serious thing because I know a lot of these young guys don't really think about long-term. I'm gonna be honest, that was the way I was when I was younger. I wasn't really thinking about having kids, and as you get older, your wants and desires change, and your idea of your future definitely changes from when you're in your early 20s as you get closer to your 30s. I understood that there were side effects and potentially infertility using steroids, and it was always something I was really concerned about. That's why when we had our first child in 2021, I was so excited. I was completely shocked. Are you serious? And it was a huge blessing. But there are some things that I did to help facilitate making that happen and getting my wife pregnant. I have been bodybuilding and using steroids on and off for about 14 years. Fortunately, early on in my career, I hooked up with Hani Rambod, and he taught me the right way of utilizing post-cycle therapy and how to do it as safely as possible. I understood that there was side effects and there were risks, but being a professional bodybuilder, I had to do what I had to do to be the best in my field. But that leaves me off just trying to talk to you guys about, you need to be transparent with your doctors. They're obviously going to condemn steroid use from their position. You got to understand where they're coming from, but they also need to understand what you're taking and understand that if you get your blood work done, why things are elevated, so they don't have to guess or try to wonder if there's something wrong with you or not. They'll be able to directly correlate, lab results that are off because you're on the steroids, and then they won't have to be concerned with something else happening to you or having to take other tests or whatnot. So transparency is key, and that's what you should communicate to them. If it's a choice that you made, let them know that, but also, let them know that you're gonna need help trying to maintain being as healthy as possible throughout this process. Some doctors will be willing to work with you and some won't. You guys gotta understand that PEDs do shut down your natural production. They turn your balls off. When you're injecting synthetic hormones, it tells your body that you don't need to produce anymore, so your balls just stop. With that being said, if you guys are on cycle, you can still get a girl pregnant, but it decreases your chances. After every prep, every cycle, you guys gotta get your blood work done. You guys gotta post-cycle therapy, and you guys gotta regulate your health. It's really important. If you guys don't do that, and your levels keep crashing and crashing and keep starting a new cycle, you're gonna run your body into the ground farther and farther. And eventually you're gonna start experiencing really bad side effects, and some of those side effects will last, indefinitely. I've mentioned that next few months, I'm kind of gonna be relaxing. I'm gonna be taking some time off the PEDs and stuff. We'll be trying to have another baby. We wanna add another one to the family. So that's what we're gonna be working on the next few months. I got my blood work done last week. Today, I got the blood work back. I'm gonna be reviewing with the specialist tomorrow. So the process that I went through after Olympia, like I said, I came completely off all gear. About 2 to 3 weeks later, I got my blood work done and I got my sperm count tested. My blood work came back as expected. My testosterone was crashed. I think it was sub 300, and that is the bottom of the lower range. But for those of you guys that have gotten your testosterone checked, if you're anything under 400 or 500, for me personally, I feel awful. I feel sluggish, I feel tired, I lack motivation, my pumps in the gym sucks, my recovery sucks. So if you're feeling that way right now, check your blood work and check your testosterone. That could be a reason why. Not only that, but my follicle stimulating hormone, FSH, and as well as my luteinizing hormone were completely slammed. They were zero. So when that revealed to me was that my body was not producing pretty much anything at all. With that information, I had my sperm tested. I used a website called fellow.com. They sent me a home testing kit, and then I got the results back 48 hours later. A normal, healthy, average man, they shoot out 40 million active sperm per ejaculation. I was producing 1 million swimming sperm, but only 1% of those swimming sperm were mobile or not deformed. So technically I had 10,000 healthy sperms compared to the normal 40 million that a healthy average guy produces. 10,000 healthy, you're still telling me there's a chance. So fortunately, there's a way of making these numbers better, and that's what Transcend was able to help me do. I got on a phone call with one of their specialists over there, and they helped me break down the numbers. And I also talked to the doctor that works with Transcend as well. He told me the process of what I needed to do in order to get my body producing again to increase my chances of getting my wife pregnant. So I ran a pretty intense fertility protocol. I gave my wife and I only 16 weeks to conceive, and I had to get back on prep for the 2024 season. Unfortunately, you guys, I got hurt. So you guys know I tore my Achilles 3 weeks ago. So prep's gonna have a late start this year. So I really wanted to try to blast this PCT and this fertility protocol and give myself the best chances possible. I was given the option of staying on TRT, Transcend. The doctors told me I ran like 100 to 150 milligrams of testosterone, and it shouldn't affect the fertility protocol. But for myself, my wife, we decided that I wasn't gonna run anything. I came completely off testosterone. And that's the reason why I did that is because I wanted to give myself the best chances possible of making this pregnancy, happen. I didn't want to, lose all my muscle mass. I still wanted to use something to help me have the motivation and have the pumps in the gym. So I did utilize 3 to 4 IUs of HGH. I did 50 milligrams of IGF-LR3, which is insulin growth factor. I did that 4 to 5 times a week pre-workout. That stuff is amazing. Increases your GH levels. It gives you an insane pump. So it helps your body process the carbohydrates and it shoves them into your muscle. Insane pumps when you're on IGF, noticeably different pumps. And I also use tesamorelin and ipamorelin, which increases IGF levels and growth hormone as well. Took that at nighttime. Gives you amazing sleep. I utilize that during my Olympia prep as well. I utilize all these during my Olympia prep actually. None of these peptides or GH that I mentioned affects your reproductive organs. The only thing about GH, if you have cancer in your family, I would stay away from growth hormone if that's something that you're genetically predisposed to. So to turn my system back on, I ran this same protocol back in 2020 to get my wife pregnant the first time. And I only ran it for 3 weeks and it worked. So I went right back to that same protocol. I ran 1,000 IUs of HCG 5 times a week, and then I took 25 milligrams of Enclomiphene every night. I also use tadalafil, which is Cialis, as needed, and I'll talk about that, why I use that later on. HCG and Enclomiphene, they increase your testosterone production, and they also facilitate sperm production as well. Enclomiphene is a better and safer option than Clomid. So when you guys are researching your stuff, look at the differences, but Enclomiphene is by far, in my opinion, superior. The tadalafil and the Cialis, when your testosterone starts crashing, especially after you come off cycle after a show, your tests will be slammed. And when your testosterone is low, your sex drive goes down and it makes it harder to get an erection. So, what I utilize Cialis for is in times that I need it. Not only is Cialis great for in the bedroom, but Cialis increases blood flow. So I know it sounds weird, but if you guys take it before the gym, you guys will actually increase vasodilation and you guys will have a better pump, noticeable pump. So taking that with the IGF-LR3, absolutely insane before a workout. You guys will experience a huge, huge pump. And for those of you guys out there, dude, you take Cialis before the gym, don't you get a boner when you go in there? No, that's not how Cialis works. That's Viagra. They work differently. As long as you're not a pervert in the gym and not checking out chicks, you're not gonna get a hard on in the gym. So don't worry about that. If you're an absolute pervert, probably should just stay home after taking that. So, most specialists, they suggest 500 IUs 5 times a week of the HCG. That's actually what the Transcend specialist prescribed me. But I talked to him a little bit about it and told him what I was doing and how it worked previously and how I was kind of limited on a time crunch. Usually this process takes 6 months. On average, most guys take about 6 months to actually produce new sperm cells. So that's where the debate is right now. Did I actually produce new sperm cells or did I get lucky? I don't know. If I got lucky twice, that's amazing. I think that's a blessing, but this is the protocol that I use, like I said. So I doubled my HCG, went from 500 IUs to 1,000 IUs 5 times a week. And that's what seemed to work best for me. My wife and I, we found out we were pregnant in February. So that means that we conceived a child mid-January. She was about 4 weeks along when we found out. That means I was only on this PCT for 6 weeks. So I made it happen really quick. And a lot of the doctors in Transcend they were really surprised that it happened, as I was too, but everybody's different. So I wanna make sure you guys understand that. This is obviously what worked for me. I definitely highly suggest getting you guys' blood work done, get your sperm count tested. If you guys want more help to be precise at things and just have a thorough understanding from a professional, Transcend helped me. They have a great team of specialists. They have a great team of doctors that work closely with their clients. So having a child is a life-changing thing. It's been the biggest blessing in my life, and there's no dollar amount that I can put on the happiness that my daughter has given me. So I know that, finances are always a concern in people's lives, but, getting the right help to facilitate having a child is gonna be worth the investment, and you'll see that as soon as you see the face of your child. So I wanna close this out by talking to the couples out there that are trying to conceive a child right now, that have been struggling, that haven't been able to make it happen. I have a lot of empathy for you guys, and I understand it can be a frustrating process, but I really encourage you guys to pray about it. Life begins and ends with God, and there's a lot of prayer that went into this household during this process, and I give a lot of thanks to God for blessing us with another child and growing our family and trusting us enough to have another kid. And it always helps to put some prayer into it, and also to utilize the resources that God has put in front of us. So my thoughts and prayers with everybody. I hope this give you guys some insight and some help, and I hope you guys start making some babies. See you guys next time.